What's up today? Welcome to another episode of Fight the Burnout. So it was quite interesting today. I was talking to a past client of mine who's wanting to join the place. We talked. She called me to let me know that she was on her way. She's going down to college here in a couple weeks, and it was quite interesting chatting with her. We always end up talking for ages. We talked for about an hour and a half actually. Um, which was quite cool because we talked about all sorts of different stuff. But one of the big things that resonated, I told her a story that I actually heard from Lewis Howes from the podcast School of Greatness. But actually, I heard it at an event that I was at that he was at. It was a Tony Robbins thing for knowledge business brokers, which helps you to be able to teach or build a mastermind as such. I'll put the link in the comments for that, so you can have a look at that. But ultimately, Lewis Howes said this story, and it resonated with her. So I thought I'd share it today. First off and foremost, is he tells the story, and it's been repeated. It's written by somebody else, and it's long story. It's somebody else's story, but it resonated with me when he said it because at the time I was going through a lot of different stuff, but I'll get into that in a second. But so this story is guys walking down a beach, and on this beach there's starfish everywhere. The tide's going out, the water's going out, and all these starfish are up on the dry land, and they're all obviously dying because they can't get back into the water and they're up in the dry. And this guy's walking along this beach, older guy. And he comes across this kid who's picking these starfish up and throwing them back in the ocean. And the guy goes up to the kid and he goes, well, "What are you doing, son?" And the boy goes, I'm saving the starfish. I'm throwing them back in the ocean." And the gentleman goes, why are you doing that?" He goes, "Because I want to save the starfish." And the gentleman goes to the kid. He goes, "Yeah, but there's hundreds of starfish. You're not going to be able to save them all." The kid goes, "Yeah." And he reaches down. He picks up a starfish. He throws it back in the ocean. And he goes, "I might not save all of them, but I just saved that one." That really resonated with me because if we think about it in regards to burnout and in regards to, our purpose, why we're put on this planet, is that if we're constantly focusing our energy on having to save the many, then we're spreading our energy extremely thin. Whereas if we hone it down, it's kind of like when you build a business. If you hone it down, hone your niche down, or hone down what you're doing, you can direct more energy at one thing, which then can spread out to another thing and then spread out to another thing. So you think about this. You think about, in a way, I don't know what you do, whoever you are that's listening to this, I don't know what you do, but let's take motivation speakers, for example. Let's take myself, for example. I pretty much empower people to get out there and put the hard work in. And, if I focus on that, I need to help. Yes, I want to help hundreds and thousands and millions of people. But if I focus on, I need to do that specifically myself, then of course I'm going to get burned out. My why is going to be powerful, but it's not that powerful that I can go, holy shit, I need to help millions of people. Because it's human nature. If the mountain is too tall or the mountain is too big, we won't climb over it. So if you think about it, with this analogy of throwing a starfish back in, if I can help one person, that can then go on and help another person, and then go on and help another person, Or even if I help one person, then they help one person, then the next day they help another person, and the next day they help another person. Over 3 days, they've helped 3 people at the bare minimum. And in turn, over those 3 days, I've helped 3 people. And those 3 people that they've helped another 1 to 3 people or 1 to 2 people. And the other 3 people that I've helped 1 to 2 people. In turn, it creates this big spider web of helping people. So in turn, really, you have helped or you have served or you have saved those hundreds of thousands to millions of people. So in turn, you are hitting those big numbers by saving one starfish. But yet it's not as much effort and as much draining power as thinking about, okay, I need to, how can I make this so big, and how can I do all of this to help all these different people? In turn, what you're going to do is you're going to then end up actually pushing and driving harder, because all you need to do is help one person each day. Some days you're going to help maybe 100, depending on what you do. But if you're always focused on, I need to help just at least one person, you're going to come from that place of caring, giving, and love and compassion instead of numbers. So think about that next time you go to do something. Obviously this lady that I was talking to, she's joining the police. And this really relates to law enforcement or even any first responder, is just worry about that one person you're with right now. It brings it back to being present as well, being in the moment, and being able to look after the people that you're with currently instead of worrying about all the people out there. Because if you can help and serve the people that you're with currently, they're going to help and serve others even more. So if you think about the law enforcement type of thing, if you can just make a difference out of one job that you go to today, you can make an impact at one job that you go to. That's going to make a massive impact. Because think about, if you're not familiar with crimes, one person can cause hundreds of crimes in a lifetime. If you think about if you can hit them at the beginning of that, or even hit them halfway through it, the amount of crimes that you can help prevent just by changing one person. Don't worry about the other 10 or 12 or 15 or 20 or 30 or however many jobs you go to that day. Just worry about that one person. Just worry about one thing, planting one seed. One of those hundreds of people that you deal, or 10 people that you deal with that day, will shift. It's just statistically, you will shift or plant a seed that will then end up shifting somebody. And so you just stay focused on the one person. I might help this person right now. Don't worry about the next one. Don't worry about the last one. I can help this person right now. Same thing goes with, let's take an accountant, for example. Worry about, if your why is lined up with being an accountant, or your why is, even for me, I could be an accountant. And I'm not dissing on accountants. We need them. I've got a great accountant. I absolutely love my accountant, and he loves what he does. For me, I could be an accountant wouldn't be the first thing that I think of, but I could be as well. Because if you think about my why, I don't want anybody else to go through the pain that I did. So in turn, to be an accountant, if I was an accountant and I was doing accounting, I could take my why and my purpose, and I could focus it towards that, going, hey, okay, cool. I'm going to be an accountant. And okay, how is my why serving me as an accountant? Okay, cool. I can help people to, use less time. They can save them money. And in turn, they can go out and create bigger greatness. In turn, they're not going to get burned out or get expelled on how the hell do I do all this numbers stuff? Like for me, for example, I don't know any of it. And so when I did do it in the very beginning, I was like, what the hell? How the hell do I do this? So it's not my thing. And there's many people out there that it is their thing, which is awesome, because we need those people. Just like what I do might not be your thing. Maybe it is. Let's talk. But as an accountant, if take my why, for example, you can tie that into there. In turn, every person that I deal with or every client that I would have, at the moment when I'm dealing with them, I'm only worried about them. Because I have referred to my accountant because he's so good. I have referred over a dozen people to him. Just the other day, I referred a friend of my wife's to him. Asked about an accountant. I was like, go see my accountant. The man is amazing. He's going to change your life. And so in turn, he got another referral because he changed my life. And in turn, helping another person. Or even some of the knowledge that he's passed on to me around accounts and what you can write off and what you can't and all the different accounting stuff, I've passed on to dozens of people. So in turn, he's gone and helped a dozen other people just by helping myself. So if you think about that one starfish, is this what you do currently? Because the starfish analogy is a really big one. It can go on for hours and hours and hours thinking about it, because saving one starfish, if you can't save them all. It's pretty much what it's saying. You can't save them all. If you're so focused on saving them all, you'll save none. Like you think about water rescue. When you do water rescue, they say go after the person you can save the easiest, not the hardest. So not the person who's floundering around, fucking swimming at you, like fucking beating the water and all over the fucking show. Go for the calm one. And the reason you go for the calm one is because you can get the calm one, you can get them back to the boat, or you can get them rescued faster and easier than the not calm one. The not calm one you can come back to and do it. If you go for the not calm one and you're fluffing around with them for 10, 20, 30 minutes, the calm one by then could be burned out and could be drowning. And ends up being the not calm one too. So you have two not calm ones now. So this is real important to think about, because you've got to save just one person at a time. You got to help one person at a time. You got to do one thing at a time. You got a million things on your to-do list? Pick one. Get it done. You got one thing done. Perfect. Focus on that. Accomplishing one thing, saving one person, however you want to put it. You can apply this to multiple different things within your realm or within your business or within your job or within your world. Stay focused on that one thing. The next day, it'll probably end up being two things that you accomplish. Or in a week or a month or a year, you'll be able to do two things easily. And you'll constantly move up the hill and stream up it instead of actually going downhill. Because in the long run, you'll go downhill. Think of that kid. If that kid was sitting there going, I have to save all these starfish. I'm never going to do anything. Do you think he'd actually last for ages being able to actually save those starfish? Or do you think he'd just give up because it'd just be too hard, too difficult, too much going on? So think about that starfish analogy, because that is very, very important. And I'm glad it got brought up today on my conversation with this past client, who I'm so superly proud of, that she's going to police college here soon. Because that's just awesome, especially with everything going on in the world. That I get to help these guys really set them up and save that one starfish. Really set them up so they have the best tools. It's real important to remember that you can't do it all. You aren't the savior of everything. You're not able to do absolutely everything. But you can do little things that make a difference, whether in your own life or in somebody else's life. And just by focusing on those little tiny things, energy is going to flow into it. And in turn, it's going to become a great thing. So I challenge you if you don't do this already, to continue to do it, to find a way that works for you, to just focus on doing one little thing each day. I say this a lot to people that I come across or I talk to that are in stages of depression or are depressed or find themselves depressed or even anxious. Find one little thing and focus on that each day. Once that little thing is feeling easy to focus on, then find another one and focus on both of those. And then so on and so forth. One good thing for if you're feeling a bit depressed is just focus on the light. Focus on one light thing. Because the light and brightness brings happiness. Smile and light and brightness. Just focus on the light and brightness. When I was in my deepest, darkest depression stages, if I went outside and it was raining out, all I saw was dark clouds. Now, because of just shifting that one little thing, one starfish, was just focusing on the brightness of each of the clouds, the bright things that were outside. When I'd wake up, I'd look for brightness. Look for the brightness in the white walls. Look at, the light. It's bright. And literally, you just focus on that little thing, that one little starfish, and it continually compounds and makes it bigger and brighter. And you'll see more brightness. You'll see more happiness. Brightness comes along with happiness. So again, like I said, if you're not doing this and you're finding a struggle and you're like, oh my God, I'm strung 6 different ways from Africa, then just focus on one thing. Find one starfish to focus on today. And if you're already focusing on that starfish, then see if you can focus on a second starfish. See if you can pick up 2 starfish, one in each hand, and throw them in the ocean. And just work on that. And remember that you can't save them all, but you can save one. So remember, if you're looking for a coach, somebody to help you power through those downtimes, to help you find that one starfish, to find your purpose, your inner deep purpose of being able to serve the best that you can, so that you have a balanced life, a fulfilled life, and a life on your terms. Maybe you're not, maybe you're not where you thought you would be. Let's talk. Reach out to us. We are the Masculine Empowerment Nation now. We also help people get into the police force. If you're one of those people, that want to get into your local law enforcement, reach out to us as well. We'll help empower you so you get better results, better performance. And if you're already in a career, maybe you want that promotion, but if you don't know your why and you're not driven with it, then those starfish look really bleak, and they look like you're never going to get them all. And in turn, you give up. Maybe you're at that stage. Maybe you can see yourself going down that stage. Maybe you want to get out of it. Maybe you want to just prevent it. But reach out to us. Let us know. We've got multiple different programs to help you out. And I look forward to talking to you soon. And this is Fight the Burnout with Chris. And we're here to serve and give you tools and tricks. Well, till next time, we'll talk very soon. And I love you all.